Hey guys, welcome to our to your channel. We are going to discuss some guidelines regarding today's Hindu newspaper. My pick of the article today is Trickeries of the Money Bill. This article is important actually. This article discusses the pros and cons of the power and authority of Speaker in Lok Sabha, especially with reference to her ultimate power regarding the determination of money bill. So the this article brings the reference of context both for pre and mains exam for UPSC civil services. The critically discuss, you might find a question, the critically discuss the power and authority of the speaker in Lok Sabha, uh, who examined in the recent scenario. We are examined in the recent background. Yeah, you might find question regarding the regarding the differentiation of money bill, yeah, ordinary bill, yeah, distinction among money bill, finance bill, financial bill, etc. So you have to try to find out these distinctions. Yeah, concerns of money bill, the yeah, article 1110, all the aspects of article 1110, right, at which instance it can be to merely considered a money bill, and at what instances it cannot be considered a money bill. All these things are clearly mentioned in the parliament chapter of Lakshmikant book. Go to the book and at this moment try to make clear all the doubts and read every and each line very carefully, right? Otherwise you will get confused and finally opt for the wrong option. So you see, the article mainly this article brings the context of 2017 money bill, where actually under the purview of money bill, government authorizes a government changes the structure of the many tribunals, right, which generally does not come under the under money bill, right? But the only valid proof the government has, the only argument government has, the speaker has given the authority, a speaker has signed is as a money bill. So whatever changes have been taken under the money bill, that are all those are valid. But the point is that the changes thereby made in the money bill in 2017 are not constitutional, because under article 1110 whatever provisions are given to be considered a money bill, those provisions are not actually in that bill. That is why the changing structure of tribunal under the money bill, as per government's decision in 2017, yeah, as government introduces the bill, financial bill in 2007, those changes, whatever changes government made in 2007 under the financial bill, those cannot be considered as valid, because it has not evaded the provisions of article 1110, which can be considered as a money bill. But the argument of the government is that under article 1110 say 3, the speaker has the final authority to say whether that is a money bill or not. So in this way, thereby for prelims you have to very clearly understand that what are the definition of money bill as given in 110. And while you read, it is very important to read carefully each and every line, because 110 of provision 1, 110 provision 1, it deals with all or any of the following matter. Whenever you read the this article 1 provision, you have to very emphasize the all and any of the following matter, right? This all and any of the following matter which can be considered for money bill, this is important. In that way, provision 2, 110 provision 2, not money bill by reason only that. Here you will find that on what instances a bill cannot be considered a money bill, right? This is very important for pre actually. Provision 3, speaker has the final authority. This is very important, and it actually equally brings the context for mains also, because Supreme Court says that this power of the speaker is valid only for the parliament, because speaker has this power, a speaker has this power of judicial authority only within the parliament. It is not valid outside the parliament. But the crux is that speaker equally derives the power from constitution. So constitution has given this power, right? And the thing is that government is arguing that, yeah, as per under this article 110 provision 3, that the decision of the speaker is outside of the judicial review of the court, and this is a very critical concern. Supreme Court emphasizes that it does not bear any such kind of immunity to the speaker's power. Speaker's power is only within the parliament, and as soon as it comes out of the parliament, it judicial review will invite there. So this controversy is very important. You have to prepare notes here, and you have to try to find out in a detailed way. And Article 110 Provision 4 says that whenever a bill has to be passed to, whenever a money bill has to pass to Rajya Sabha, it must have to be certified by the Speaker as a money bill. So Article 110 Provision 1, 2, 3, 4. These are very important, and clearly understand what each provision says. Right, Article 3 and 4 is not same, each one is different. If you do not read clearly, if you do not understand clearly, then you will intermingle them and you will choose the wrong option in exam hall. And this article actually brings the brings the importance of the post of the speaker, that critically analyze the role and power and authority of the speaker. And you have to try to find out that selection, qualification, power, authority, for what kind of parliamentary privileges speaker gains, yeah, the guard, what kind of rights speaker protects, right, and what is the authority of the speaker, and from where speaker derives his power, constitution as well as the rule of parliamentary procedure. These things are important. See, speaker is the ex officio president of the Indian parliamentary group. Speaker is the guardian of parliamentary privileges of the House, committees and members. Speaker is the custodian of democracy in parliament. Speaker protects the constitution. Speaker derives power from constitution and parliamentary rules and procedure. C has administrative rules. How speaker administers the Lok Sabha. Speaker appoints chairman of parliamentary committee. Speaker is assisted by Secretary General and other parliamentary staffs. These things are important as a whole, because you have to mention in your answer whatever you write about the power and authority of the speaker. So when you write answer, when you critically analyze the judicial power, parliamentary power of the speaker, then what concerns we will find? That whims and fancies of the executive. This power of the judicial power of the speaker is so large that executive can use that to change any law, to change any constitutional law, especially money bill. Right? There is a chance that it becomes the whims and fancies of executive. Harm of the dignity of the chair of the speaker. Mainly the speaker is the person who belongs to ruling party. Therefore, that is a very great chance that she might be influenced by the ruling party's policies, and in this way it will harms the very dignified post of the speaker in Lok Sabha. Judicial review unrest. The provision that speaker's authority is final in case of money bill. It actually transparently keeps the provision of judicial review out of her decision. So this is only a critical. This is again a critical aspect. So when you write about the powers, functions, and authority of the speaker, you have to bring out the concerns, and as well as you have to give your own solution in this. Another honorable mentions of the article in today's Hindu articles: Election Commission push hold release of biopic on Prime Minister Modi. This decision comes at the context of the ongoing Lok Sabha election, that though it is a creative expression and creative expression cannot be debarred from publicly viewed, but at the time of election it actually brings a different context, because it can positively and negatively affect the political party, any political personalities. That is why it brings the reference of model code of conduct, and whenever we say model code of conduct, you have to try to find out that what does it include and who issues. Election Commission issues model code of conduct. It guidelines for political parties as well as candidates, and Keep it in mind that model code of conduct include both guidelines for political parties and candidates, as well as it includes election manifesto. You might find questions in free. What does it include? It includes both election manifesto as well as guidelines for political and candidates. And you will go to the official website of election commissioner, and there you will find what are the different guidelines of given under model code of conduct, and what are the provisions that which can be included in election manifesto of a political party. So you will find these provisions in a detailed way in the website of election commission. It includes general conduct, meeting, process on right, polling party, polling day, and so that the power author the party in power cannot misuse, cannot take any advantage. In this way, it is actually you can relate this to the representative of people act 1951. So this topic is important for both pre and mains exam, especially in pre exam, that what is model code of conduct, who issues it, and what does it include, both guidelines and election manifesto. Supreme Court has given the responsibility of determining guidelines for political parties to Supreme Court has given this power to election commission, that to determine what should be there in election manifesto issued by a political party. Another honorable mentions of two articles. Supreme Court rejects Center's plea to keep Rafael documents secret. RTI Act supersedes official secret law. These articles are very much important both for pre and mains exam. I have already discussed this context in my previous lecture, so I will not go into details. I'll just point out what you have to cover here. Official Secrets Act 1923, especially Section 5 and 6. These are some controversial sections with the help of which actually government servants, other public servants, government actually tries to hide information under RTI Act. So does it does it conflict with the freedom of speech, RTI? So the conflict between Official Secret Act and freedom of speech and RTI, you have to find out. Again, the section Right to Information Act, section 8 provision 2 is very important here. What does this say? This section 8 provision 2 of the RTI says that information under Official Secret Act can be disclosed if public interest outweighs the harm to the protected interest. That section 82 says that if there is any provision under Official Secret Act, that it cannot be revealed, but when the matter comes to the public interest, if there is a much more weightage on the public interest, then it will supersede the Official Secret Act. That means the public importance of public interest will determine whether that can be protected under Official Secret Act or not. If it is observed that there is a much more onerous there is a very onerous responsibility, the matter comes under rigorous public interest, then despite being under Official Secret Act, it must have to be revealed. This is section 8.2 of the this is section 8.2 of the RTI Act. And again, freedom of speech, as per a recent Supreme Court judgment, freedom of speech cannot be compromised. So all these three things, Official Secret Act 1923, provision 5, section 5 and 6, and its conflict with RTI, section 8.2 of the RTI, and freedom of speech. Right, these things you have to consider for pre as well as mains exam.